Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing what might be some of the better value bets against the spread in college basketball for January 9th, 2017. Of course, we got the big national championship football game tonight, but that doesn't mean there are also a few basketball games going on. Not a lot of action tonight, but at least a couple are. I got about 4 games that I'm going to talk about in this video that look to be like pretty decent value bets against the spread. If you're interested in more of this pick video content, you can click that subscribe button and click the like button on this video. And also, if you're looking for more pick content across all major American sports, you can head on over to stumpthespread.com by clicking this logo in the top right hand corner of the video to get our daily free play or our higher confidence premium picks. And also, if you're not on desktop, to click that link that's right up here in the top right hand corner. I'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description so you can get to it that way as well. Alright guys, so heading right into this video, I'm going to start with the St. John's versus Georgetown matchup. The St. John Red Storms haven't been as bad as most were expecting coming into the year. This is a program that's really struggled in recent seasons, and even though this group does remain a work in progress, they have put up some nice results this year, standing 8-9 overall, and really a surprising 2-2 in the Big East thus far, in what was a year where people thought St. John's was going to have another tough time finding any kind of wins in conference play. This group has shown the ability to put up some decent offensive numbers, ranking 82nd in the nation in scoring average compared to 227th in total defense. St. John's opened conference play with some nice wins coming against Butler at home and then on the road against DePaul. But since then, the Red Storm have fallen in back-to-back games against the likes of Creighton and Xavier. The Red Storm has some strong offensive options with guys like Levette and Pons, who are each averaging around 18 points per game. This Georgetown squad has been one of the bigger disappointments in the Big East so far this year. This group's been really inconsistent, standing 8-8 overall and 0-4 in conference play. Georgetown has at least been competitive in their conference losses. In their last outing, the Hoyas fell to Butler at home by a final of 76-85. Georgetown has wanted to push the ball a bit more this year, and it really hasn't worked out much to their favor. This group currently ranks 102nd in the nation in scoring average compared to 197th in total defense. Rodney Pryor has been one of the bright spots on this team as he's averaging just over 18 points per game for the Hoyas. Georgetown sits in the basement of the Big East right now, and they're getting pretty desperate for wins at this point, but they're still getting some pretty good respect here from the odds makers. St. John's has shown that they can win on the road in conference play, like in the result they had against DePaul. And we do like St. John's to at least stay competitive in this one as they go on to cover the spread on the road today against the Hoyas. Alright guys, moving on to the next game. We got a lot of Sun Belt action today, and we're going to be starting with the Troy versus Georgia State contest. So the Troy Trojans are better than their 8-8 overall record might suggest. This group has shown the ability to compete blow for blow with some of the tougher squads that they've faced this season, especially on the road. This group really tested themselves on the road during the non-conference, putting up some good results in losing efforts against tough opponents. Obviously, when you get those losses, it doesn't look that great on the resume just on the onset, but when you dig into it a little bit more, this is a team that, nearly won on the road against teams like USC, Wyoming, among others, that were pretty impressive results for them. So this group has shown the ability to put up some pretty nice offensive numbers this year. They rank second in the conference in scoring average, and this group is moderate on the defensive end, ranking 179th in the nation in total defense. Troy has faced, like I said, a road-heavy schedule, and in their last outing, this group came up just short again as they fell to Georgia Southern by a final of 82-86, and that's a Georgia Southern squad that's looking pretty strong right now. So for Troy to really push them on the road was another impressive losing result for this squad. Anyways, Troy has competed well in nearly all of their road games this season, and this balanced offensive attack has been led by Jordan Vernado, who's averaging about 15 points per game. We weren't as high as most on this Georgia State squad coming into the year, and this group has been, adequate at best, standing 8-6 overall and 1-1 in conference play. In their last result, Georgia State was able to come through, picking up the win by a final of 78-77 at home against South Alabama. In their conference opener, the Panthers looked shaky on the road, losing to Georgia Southern by a final of 65-88, and that's the same team that Troy just recently lost to by 4 points on the road, and Georgia State fell to them by 23 in a similar situation. Georgia State doesn't mind playing in the half court, and this unit currently ranks 201st in the nation in scoring average, as well as 123rd in total defense. Jeremy Hollowell has been the lone double-figure scorer for this group, averaging about 15 points per game. Troy has been very impressive on the road, even in their defeats this year. Troy is battle-tested away from home, and this is a group that really has shown the ability to fill up the stat sheet in these type of situations on the road. We like the Trojans to really compete here and keep things close and even push for the upset, and getting the points in this one, we feel like Troy is going to be the better betting value in this particular matchup. All right, moving on down here, the next game that we're going to be talking about is Arkansas State against Appalachian State. Arkansas State hasn't been as strong recently as we saw from them at times during the non-conference, but the Red Wolves remain a big threat in the Sun Belt, standing 11-5 overall and 2-1 in conference. Arkansas State is coming off one of their worst results of the year, losing in their last outing to Coastal Carolina by 15 points on the road. Arkansas State has at least shown the ability to play well on the road this season, as they pushed Minnesota in the non-conference in a competitive matchup, and also coming through in a win at Georgetown and a pretty nice blowout win on the road against UT Martin. The Red Wolves have a strong conference win against Louisiana Lafayette under their belt, and this unit has been led by Devin Carter so far this season, as he's averaging about 17 points per game. Appalachian State doesn't mind pushing the pace of play a bit, and this group currently ranks 114th in the nation in scoring average and 242nd in total defense. The Mountaineers will likely have a tough time slowing down this Arkansas State attack, and they'll need their offense to really step up to have a shot at the upset in this home matchup. The Mountaineers stand just 5-9 overall and 0-3 in conference, coming off a 68-76 loss at home against Arkansas Little Rock. The Mountaineers have lost all of their conference games by at least the margin of this current spread. Appalachian State doesn't have an overwhelming home court advantage by any means, and that is shown in some of their recent defeats. On the year, the Mountaineers have one double-figure scorer with Ranshad Shabazz, who's averaging 15.4 points per game. Arkansas State is hungry to get back on track, coming off a poor performance in their last outing, and this is really a great chance for this group to bounce back on the road against one of the weaker teams in the Sun Belt. We like Arkansas State to right the ship here tonight as they go on to win and cover this moderate spread against a very beatable Appalachian State opponent. Alright guys, just one more game that we're going to touch on in this video in a day where there's not a whole lot of action in college basketball, and that's going to be this South Alabama versus Georgia Southern contest. South Alabama had a promising start to the regular season, but this group has leveled out a bit, now standing 8-7 overall and 1-1 in conference. South Alabama likes to play off of their defensive efforts, as the Jaguars rank 91st in the nation in total defense compared to 239th in scoring average. In a conference that has a lot of teams that favor more the offensive side of the ball, this is a group that doesn't mind slowing down the pace a little bit, and they currently rank second in the nation in conference in points allowed. South Alabama came up just short in their last outing on the road, losing to Georgia State by a final of 77-78. The Jags have been trending down, winning just 2 of their last 8 contests. South Alabama spreads the ball around quite a bit with 4 players averaging between 10 to 12 points per game. We've liked the potential of this Georgia Southern squad, and the Eagles look like they could be one of the top threats to make a push for the Sun Belt regular season title. Georgia Southern likes to get up and down the court, as they rank 63rd in the nation in scoring average compared to 179th in total defense. Georgia Southern tested themselves a lot on the road during the non-conference, and that should pay dividends for this group down the road in the Sun Belt in a number of tough road environments that are going to be coming up for this group in the Sun Belt. The Eagles came through in their last outing at home, beating a strong Troy squad by a final of 86-82. This win was on the heels of an excellent 88-65 win over Georgia State in their prior outing. Georgia Southern has been led by Ike Smith, who's been one of the top performers in the Sun Belt so far this year, averaging 19.5 points per contest. Georgia Southern is heading in the right direction right now, and the Eagles have been building momentum through the start of conference play. South Alabama should have their hands full in this one on the road, and it'll be interesting to see how they compete in this one. We like the home team to stay hot on the offensive end as they go on to win and cover this moderate spread here that currently stands at about 7.5 points. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up for the 4 matchups that we wanted to discuss in today's pick video. These are some of the better picks we feel against the spread today, and a day where there's just not a lot of action going on, given the fact that we have the college football national title game going on. If you're interested in getting our pick on the national title game between Clemson and Alabama, you can find that over on our channel. And again, if you're interested in more content, you can hit that subscribe button to this channel as well as liking our video. It really helps us out and is greatly appreciated. And you can also head on over to stumpthespread.com to get our daily free pick. Yesterday's free pick winner came through with Wichita State getting the job done on the road against Northern Iowa. And usually we'll have a 1-unit free play there on a daily basis from college basketball's action. And again, if you're interested, you can also get a premium membership, and when you do that, you'll get access to all of our top confidence plays across all major American sports. And right now, that would cover the NFL. College football is just wrapping up, but we also got college basketball as well as the NBA and the NHL right now. And really, baseball, that should be coming up here quicker than most expect, with spring training games about a month or two away right now. So looking forward to that once that rolls around. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.